Oliver Sloup. He's with Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Oliver, thanks for being on. I think you're like the only guy that's not down at the Commodity Classic. You must have drawn the short straw.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. We gotta stay on top of the markets, right? We don't have time for swinging by the swimming pool and margaritas
right.
when the markets are moving like they are. But yesterday's USDA report, typically that's a little bit of a snoozer. We saw some volatility last year in this report, and we were thinking that was maybe more of a one-off due to the Russia-Ukraine invasion. And this year we thought that it would kind of revert to being a snoozer, but we're seeing the selling pressure continue into today's session. I think a lot of this is probably a little bit more technical. We took out last week's lows, and it's kind of snowballing on itself, and we're starting to see this steady bleed lower throughout the session, which isn't really what the bulls want to see. I think if you're looking to be a counter trend trader here and trying to pick a low, you want to see that capitulation. We haven't gotten anywhere near that in today's trade, and typically you get sell-offs like this in days of 3 where the margin department step in and you start to see forced liquidation. That's what triggers the capitulation, which again we haven't seen yet. The technical levels that we're keeping an eye on, 620 is what the bulls want to get out above. Failure to do that, I think, keeps the door open on the downside to $5.95 to $6, which is psychologically significant, but also a gap from July 26th.
This started, I felt like yesterday, just having been around as long as I have been. I feel old, but it just didn't, you could have built a little bit of a reason to buy. There was some bullish stuff in there, right? And I thought, man, we're not really reacting to this at all. And I guess it sounds or felt like everybody that wanted to own it, owned it. And the bullish news just wasn't bullish enough to bring new buyers to the market. And when that didn't happen, I mean, I've had that happen to me in the pit before too. And you kind of look to your left, look to your right, and there's no bids. You're like, uh-oh, this doesn't smell too good. And I think a lot of folks ran for the door, and then the technicals kind of piled in on top of that as well. And it's just been not a good ride as of late.
Classic fundamental rejection, right?
Yep.
We know about the technical rejections today, or like yesterday was a little bit more of a fundamental rejection with the big cut in the Argentine crop and the market selling off. That's right. A big caution flag.
Huge caution flag. All right, thanks for that. Stay right there. We're going to go away.